Good morning, this is Jim, 5714 Collector. I have another video for you here on Thursday morning. I recently went to a card show in Glen Burnie, Maryland this past Saturday, and I picked up some cards. And I also have some eBay purchases, so I don't know if how I'm gonna do these, if I'm gonna separate them or not. The eBay ones, I got a bunch of those. I got some ones under, I'll show you guys here. I'll show all of them to you. So we'll kind of mix them up because it's kind of hard to keep track of them all. But let's start with the Orioles and some of the other oddball stuff I picked up. And I thought I'm going to do maybe a 66 tops and a 67 tops run of Baltimore Orioles players. And so while I was at the show in Glen Burnie, I picked up the 1966 rookie stars of Darryl Knowles and Andy Etchebarren. And that's kind of cool. I'm going to put these in an album. I've heard of these people doing these like Frankenstein type albums, and I've been doing one of them, and one day I'll show that. Here's the back of that card. So, of course, Darryl Knowles later became a star with the Oakland A's during their championship years, and Andy Etchebarren was the Orioles starting catcher for several years, and then he split the duties with Elrod Hendricks in the late 60s, early 70s. So that's the first card, and I picked up a 1966 Milt Pappas, which is kind of cool. So, because of course Milt Pappas was traded in December of 1965 to the Cincinnati Reds in the Frank Robinson deal. And this is the first series because that's card number 105. That's pretty awesome. So, then I got the 66 Hank Bauer manager's card. So that's pretty awesome. He's a veteran, great player. I think he still probably holds the World Series record for consecutive games of getting a base hit at 17. There's the back of that. Roberto Clemente had 14 games with a base hit in World Series play, but he only played in 14 World Series games. So if he had played in another one, maybe he had a chance to break that record. But there's Hank Bauer. And I got a 67 Eddie Watt, who I recently got an autograph from, thanks to Drew from Clean Cheap Shots. Make sure I say that right, Drew. There's Mr. Watt, and there's the back. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the World Series hero from the Orioles from 1966, Mo Drabowski, who set a record with 11 strikeouts and 6 1/3 of relief pitching in Game 1 of the 66 World Series when the Orioles beat the Dodgers 5-2. There's the back of that. So that's pretty awesome. So they're going to go in my album. I also picked up this really cool Tom Seaver card that's numbered 81 of 99. So that's pretty cool. Top Seaver card. That's pretty awesome. There's the back of that. I got this like $1. And most of these cards were in the dollar range, $1.50 range. I picked up a 1970 Joe Morgan. It's got a little bit of a crack on it. But again, it was $1, and I thought it was Joe Morgan. So this will go in the box over here in my Hall of Fame box. That's pretty cool. I love that. I'm a big Kellogg's guy. I love them. I also picked up 1965 Robin Roberts with the Orioles. That's going to go on my album. So that's pretty awesome. I think this is the first Robin Roberts card in my collection. So I have a spot for Mr. Roberts. There's the back. So, of course, he won 286 lifetime games, and I just was watching yesterday when John 3D 80s Kid and Chris from Missouri were doing the greatest Who Wore It Better, number 36, and Robin Roberts was one of the top 2 finalists. He was number 1 with John and number 2 with Chris, so that was kind of neat. And I saw these numbered cards of the great Jimmy Fox, and this is pretty cool. One is the museum collection, and one is, I think this is archives. So they're both numbered, so these are kind of cool. And I thought they were pretty awesome. So there's the back. So I think they're pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. And then check this one out, the museum collection. So that's pretty awesome. So the back of that. So then these are eBay purchases and the card show purchases. Now this is one of the eBay purchases. This is one of the Topps team cards, the cutouts. So, I think that's 79 if I remember. 79. So I picked this up because of Ryan, of course. And there's the back of that. So somebody hand cut this and then sold it on eBay for a couple bucks. So that's pretty cool. So this will go in probably my album of Ryan cards. I'll have to decide how I'm going to do that. Now this one got a bad cut on it, but it was $1. This is 76, and you can see the difference. See how small it is, but still it's only $1 plus tax and another $1 worth of shipping. So, and I'll try to get a better one at some point, but it's still kind of cool. So let's see what we got. We got baseball royalty, Nolan Ryan. That's pretty cool from Topps. So these are all base cards of Nolan, but they're pretty neat. And they'll go in my album. So, because I'm always adding to them. I picked up the Topps Heritage from 2017 flashbacks. That's pretty awesome. Didn't have this one, so I thought it'd be pretty cool to add that. This says, the Ryan Express hops on fast track. Now, I don't know if he was known as the Ryan Express in 1968 or not, but that's what it says. I think he got that nickname with the Angels, but could be wrong. Here's the famous Wicked Curves that my buddy Russ from Collecting Nolan and Brent Richardson baseball cards showed recently, and that's a beautiful card. So, of course, I had to pick that up. And what's funny, as I'm standing here or sitting here today doing this video, I got more Ryan stuff coming in the mail. And I also have held back some stuff because I know we're going to do a video in about a week and a half or 2 weeks and show our Ryan stuff, so I'm going to show that on the show. But so you guys won't be able to see it on Brent's channel. A couple more Topps, a little bit of shininess here. Nolan Ryan. So that's it. Can't remember which one this is from, whether it's archives or not. Here's the back. So that's pretty cool. That's a little bit of a shiny card. That's kind of neat. And then I picked up a couple of these. And please, ignore the the price and all that. I got the Prestige here. That's pretty cool. That is with, that's with Clemens and all that. So that's pretty awesome. And here's the back of that. I love those cards anyway. These dual cards like this are awesome. And then I picked up the Bob Feller, the Tom Seaver, the Ryan, and Verlander. I think I have this already, but the 4-in-1 cards, I love them. And I said, you know what, even if I do have it, so what? I'm going to keep this. I love this. That 69 style, there's the back. And then I picked up a Donruss. And this was from 2014. Didn't have this one. It was in the $1 box. Most of the Ryan cards of this style are, $1. If they have a $2 price tag and you buy 6 or 7 of them, they'll charge you $1 a piece. Here's the back. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Then we have the Nolan Ryan Optic. And this is pretty cool because this has got a little bit of shine to it. This is from 17. So it's kind of got a little bit of a shine. That's kind of neat. Love those. And then I picked up, let me take this out. I'll do it this way. I got Pitching a Gem from Allen and Ginter from 2022. That's kind of cool. It had a $1 sticker on it, so it was $1. So can't beat that. I will pick up Nolan Ryan cards even if I have them when they're $1. Anything under $1, I just go ahead and if I have them, I just buy them and I'll keep them. Nice to have doubles, maybe give them out, maybe send them off to my buddies if they say, hey, Jim, I don't have that. I'll just, send them out and give it to them. Here's Legends of the Game from Topps. This is a beautiful card. And I love that Astros uniform. That is just so cool. Almost a color match. It's close. Here's the back. That's pretty awesome. And then I have another Nolan Ryan here. I think this is from Archives, not Heritage. So this is pretty awesome. That's a beautiful card. And I love this. It's got all the stats on the back, even if I can't read them without a magnifying glass, but they're still there. And I love that. I think that's pretty cool. Also, now check this out. This is Nolan Ryan. I think this might be Heritage. Got Nolan Ryan on the front. It's pretty cool. And guess who's on the back? The great Tom Seaver. Tom Terrific in the Ryan Express. And it looks, that might be Shea Stadium. I don't know on the background. Could be. If somebody really knows, please let me know. But I love that style. And Got a couple more. We got the Nolan Ryan, the black and white with the Mets. That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Topps did some beautiful cards. Just a nice looking card there. That's a beauty. Got a couple more. I don't want to go too long this morning. We got the Nolan Ryan 1969. This is pretty awesome here, so check that out. That's from Upper Deck. And the background photo is pretty cool too. When you see this is pretty neat. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And then it is, yeah, okay. So that's probably, well, let's say it was taken from the Topps archive or Upper Deck archive, and that's a picture from 1968, 69 of Nolan, a young Nolan. That's pretty cool. And one more card. We got the Optic here. Check this one out. This is pretty cool. Got a little bit of a shine to that one too, as Brent would say. So that's pretty awesome. So I picked up a couple other things. I'll show them when we do our show in a couple weeks. I'll make sure I show them because I got a little pile growing over here. One thing I picked up, and my buddy Brenton was with me, and he was talking to Russ from Collecting Nolan on the phone, and I told Russ about this. I picked up the Topps Gallery of Champions, the 1988 official collection, complete set of 12 88 Topps baseball card aluminum replicas. So there it is. So that's cool. It's in the sealed box. I've bought from this guy. I think his name is Tom. He's done Chantilly. He does his Glen Burnie show. He had a sticker on it for $5. I said, I've got to buy it for $5. So on the back of this, it's got the batting champions, Tony Gwynn and Wade Boggs. So they're in it. Home run champions, Andre Dawson and Mark McGwire. The firemen, Dave Righetti and Steve Bedrosian. And I think Bedrosian won the Cy Young that year. Yeah, he did. It's right here. I missed it. I apologize. Yeah, he did. And also Roger Clemens. MVP, George Bell and Andre Dawson. Rookie of the Year, Benito Santiago and Mark McGwire. Strikeout Kings, Mark Langston and Nolan Ryan. Slugging leader, Mark McGwire and Jack Clark. So, it says here, the 88 Gallery of Champions is an exciting collection of 12 miniature baseball cards. Each is 1/4 size replica of the official 88 Topps card, front and back. Each replica is so detailed and precise that every word, every statistic can be read. I'd have to see them up close. When you run your fingers across the replica, you can feel the high relief image. Each piece is a work of art that will be appreciated by baseball and collecting enthusiasts everywhere for the years to come. So, there it is. So that's pretty cool. I have another one of these, I think, from 1990, and another collector's case up here that is open. I don't know, I might leave this one sealed, and I'll probably show this during our show that night because I thought it'd be kind of cool to show it a second time and different people get to see it. So that's what I got for you from my recent eBay pickups and my recent show in Glen Burnie, Maryland show this past Saturday. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. I'm going to put these cards away and put them in the album here probably this afternoon. Hope everybody has a great Thursday, and I will see everybody on Sunday morning with the next part of the 72 Topps Baseball Series. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.